Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. On today's video, I am using paint to transform items from my stash that I thrifted long ago and was inspired by at some point, and transforming them and upcycling them into be something more my style that I can sell in my vendor booth in Cumming, Georgia. If you want to see what I come up with, stick around. Project number one this week, I'm going to be using the color Skeleton Key from DIY Paint. I thrifted this a while back for $4. Someone had tried to paint it and they kind of left the parts that they meant to distress very muddy with paint. So I'm going to go through this whole thing with 2 coats of Skeleton Key. It is such a beautiful color. And I'm using the Perfectionist paintbrush from DIY to get in all the nooks and crannies. And then after the second coat, I am going to top coat it because I want to add a second color and I want the Skeleton Key color to stay put. I got out the color Aviary because there's just a little bit left in the bottom of the can after I filled up my FIFO bottles. And I'm really loving how the Skeleton Key looks like it has a blue next to this Aviary color. And I'm just going over the top sections with Aviary and making sure it all has this two-toned look. And then I'm going to top coat that as well. I was considering using some waxes to either darken it and make it look older, but I really love that this is a different color combination that you would be used to, and I think it would look really good at the back of a vignette that you have in like a bookcase or something to add some interest and some color. Project number 2 is this metal round that I thrifted a little bit ago, and I really loved the patina of the edges and thought I'm going to use Ameracana, which is an all-in-one paint from DIY Cottage Colors, and I'm using these Klingon brushes, guys. I am really enjoying these brushes. So I'm going to make sure I stir the paint really well, and you'll see when I come back for the second coat, I already need to stir the paint again. The top coat within this paint does get separated, so make sure you stir it really well. I ended up going over this thing with 3 solid coats to get the coverage that I was looking for, but I did not have to top coat it, and then I was ready to get out a gorgeous transfer. I got out Rose Botanical. Guys, this is from a couple releases ago, and it is one of my favorites. And I am super guilty of moving on to the next transfer book and not using up my old stuff. So I am going to use one of the biggest designs in this book, which I have not found a project for yet. And I'm going to cut off the leaves so that I can layer it and it can look like the roses are in the center with green around it. So I'm just going through now and cutting the places that I want to, and then I'm going to build up the design that I want before I start any transfers. And then when I start doing the transfers, I am going to put them on from the back, which is the furthest away. And then the last one I want to put on is the one that I want to be closest to me. was trying to decide if I was going to use any of this cursive writing on this at all. There was a bigger font and a smaller font, but in the end I decided not to do that. I did decide to go ahead and go over the whole thing with 220 grit sandpaper, just so the transfer didn't look so fresh and just put on there. And then for the first time, I am using Top Coat from Sweet Pickins. I didn't include this in my initial order because I missed where to order it on the site. So I now have this Top Coat in gloss, satin, and matte, and I am just going to pour on the matte top coat and put it over the top of the whole thing. And then originally I was thinking that this would be a tray that someone could use, but what I decided to do is add this little attachment to the back here so that it can be hung in a beautiful gallery wall of some sort. I just think it would make a beautiful piece of wall decor instead of putting things on top of it. If you guys are new here, welcome to Create Your Own Cozy. I would love it if you hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know you are here. Project number 3 is going to be something that I'd gotten from Hobby Lobby so long ago and never used. I mean, so long ago. Obviously, I did half off of that, but there's something about these press tins when you add some paint. So I am doing 2 coats of Aviary. At first I was gonna see, do I want to just do the high levels? And then I'm like, no, I don't want that red to come through. So I'm going to paint the whole thing 2 times and then come back with a baby wipe to wet distress. And there's just something so magical about beautiful color, some press tin, and some wet distressing. So after that is finished, I go over all of them with some clear wax just to seal the paint and have a nice little top coat. And these fun little trays or wall decor, there's hooks on the back as well, have absolutely been upcycled. What do you guys think of these? Project number 4 is something I upcycled, I believe, back when I first got my booth. It used to be like a yellow color. I did Apothecary and white wax, and the wax has at this point cured because it's been years. So I'm going over the whole thing with 2 coats of Aviary, and then I'm going to wet distress the high areas so that the beautiful Apothecary can come through. I feel like these colors go so well together. I'm just going to use a baby wipe to get the Apothecary to come through with the Aviary, and then clear wax to reseal it. And now I have a fun color combination. What do you guys think of this color combo? So did you guys get inspired to maybe go into your stash, find some stuff that you were once inspired to grab and transform them? I know sometimes I get in the struggle of I want to shop for new things, but I need to be reminded to go grab some of the things that I had been inspired by before, get those upcycled, and either use them in my home or bring them to my booth at Angry Mama's Antiques and Interiors in Cumming, Georgia. If you got inspired to create today, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my Create Your Own Cozy channel and hit that notification bell to all so you get updated every time I post a new video. Also, if you need any of the paint or products that I use and have available, I have a website, www.createyourowncozy.com, where every purchase you make directly affects my small business and helps support my family. So thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to do something that feeds your creative soul, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check me out over at createyourowncozy.com.